This is the Miami Herald Business Show. I'm Terence Shepherd, the Herald's money editor. We're focusing this show on executive compensation. What CEOs make is a delicate topic these days. By most measures, the economy is coming out of a recession. But with unemployment in Florida well over 10% and worker pay stagnant or in some cases falling, some feel there's a disconnect when it comes to executive pay. With me today to talk about this issue is Dr. Robert Preziosi, the chairman of management at Nova Southeastern University's H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business and Entrepreneurship. Bob, you're responsible for shaping tomorrow's business leaders, and you've also done some consulting quite a bit. What can you tell me about the best practices in terms of executive compensation?
The best practice these days for executive compensation is a package that involves a lot of what we already know and do. It involves salary, it involves perks, it involves stock options and things of that nature. However, that said, unless it's based upon some kind of performance management strategy, it can get all kinds of criticism from employees, from the press. So I think if we continue the movement, and the movement has grown some, of performance management as a way to reward executives, if that continues, I think people will be performing and more engaged in work.
How do you judge a CEO's performance? Let's take, for example, the CEO of BP. Is he performing well, not so well, and why?
Well, I think that a CEO such as he, in this condition or in this situation, is probably a little bit dumbfounded because he never expected something like this to happen. How did he react? That's key. How does the media portray him? That's key. Has he done a good job in presenting the company, and has he done a good job in presenting himself? Because unless he can maintain the esteem, quote unquote, of the company, the stock price is going to suffer. People are not going to go to BP to pump gasoline in their cars. It's going to be very, very difficult for that company to maintain its growth and profitability.
Now, when you talk in terms of compensation, the CEOs, the CFOs, the board chairs, they make tremendous salaries. They receive great perks. But you often hear in the media that these type people are difficult to find. Do you find that to be true? Is it tough to find a good CEO, or are they really a dime a dozen?
Well, I wouldn't say they're a dime a dozen, but they're certainly not hard to find. There are great people out there in number 2 and number 3 positions, and we've seen that in many organizations through time. So to assume that this is the only person right here, right now, that can run General Electric or run Hewlett-Packard, I think is a mistake.
In terms of executives setting an example, should executives extend, say, stock options and employee stock ownership programs to the rank and file employee? Is that a good way to motivate people?
I think employee stock ownership plans are wonderful because employees now have a buy-in to the success of the company in a way that they didn't before.
Thank you very much. I'm Terence Shepherd for the Miami Herald Business Show.